Hi, this is Ronnie, and welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas. I will leave the link below for the next person in line so you can hop along. There might be several today, but then there'll be more tomorrow too. 12 days. I am going to scrap this picture, and I'm using some old close to my heart. A few years back, I'm not sure how many, and I've used it for a few other layouts, but Jennifer gave it to me, and I am making use of it. It is really pretty. It is not traditional colors, so if you're looking for traditional colors, you're not going to see them today. I'm going to double matte this photo. At first I wasn't, so I kind of cut the pink a little too short, or narrow one. I can't remember which it was. And then I seen the yellow peeking out from the bottom of the paper stack. I thought, oh yeah, I was gonna matte this in yellow first, so I had to trim the picture down just a little bit so everything would work and I wouldn't have to throw anything away. I had to pull this picture off of that paper so I would be able to tell where the edges were so I could do my matting. Everything was kind of blending together. It was all the same color. I thought I'd use this one with the design on it to start with, and I was thinking wallpaper, but it was just too dark. I thought I'm just going to go ahead and use white, and I'm really happy that I did. Everything shows up pretty good on here. This paper come with all these strips on it. It was one sheet of paper, and I trimmed them off the paper, and I'm going to use several of them on this layout, but instead of having them as strips going across the page, I'm going to have them going in a couple of directions. In my head, I was thinking like the L-shaped layout. Yeah, well, it might be a little bit L-shaped when I get done, but not quite. And it did not end up anything like I had pictured in my mind. That was not working. So I ended up doing something different, and I'm not going to say it's my favorite layout, but I like it better than where it was like midway. I ended up taking some things off and not actually starting over again, but just taking a few steps back is what I was doing. That piece there was at the bottom of the page, so it's pretty thin there in the middle. And I'm putting foam tape behind it because I thought I'd tuck some things underneath it. And I figured that'd be the easiest way. I'm going to put foam tape on a couple, 3 altogether. I'm putting the foam tape on 3, and then the rest are going to be adhered down to the page. And yeah, right there I couldn't even put any. It was so thin I couldn't put any there in the middle. I'm going to put it right over the top of that dark pink that's got just a shade lighter pink dots on it, and I had just freehand cut it and put it on there, and then I put some stitching on it just to kind of distinguish it. Since everything else seems to be pretty well decorated, I wanted to do a little bit of something with that. I putting the snowflakes down first, and I wish later I'd put something else down first because I really like the snowflake one, and I would have liked it to show up a little bit better, but I'm going with it. It's kind of peeking out behind the others that get put on there. And this strip I'm going to add to cardstock first. And so I used some wet glue, and once I used it, I thought really I didn't need to use wet glue. The regular adhesive would have probably worked, but I am going to use regular adhesive on the next one. I did use it on that little pink one down there at the bottom too. I'm cutting right along the edge of the cardstock. I am not leaving a trim on either side. I will, maybe I got 1, 2, it's 4 on foam tape, because I remember the Christmas trees had foam tape too, and I used a colored cardstock behind them. By the time I put my foam tape on here, I forgot how I tested it to see how to put it on there. So, yeah, I'm going to try a couple of ways before I get it one of the ways that I wanted. This is more like what I wanted. I don't remember how I had it first. I didn't take a picture, but this is close enough, I think. I knew I wanted it to go off the page a little bit. And I should have used my bigger scissors here, but I used these little ones and had a tough time of it. They just kind of made it a little bit ragged on the edges. But they are going through foam tape, cardstock, and decorative paper. But they do succeed. at least I did do that. I did have to take a marker along the edge of it, but then it was fine. It didn't have no jagged foam tape hanging out there. And this paper here is so cute. It has all the colors that's in the collection. And it looks a little more Christmassy than some of the others do. So I wanted to make sure I got it on here. It is in the forward position. So it's in the foreground, so it'll show up even better. I'm going to cut it off and just kind of tuck it beneath that pink. And then, of course, cut the other side off. But this one is a little easier to cut than the first one was. And as you can see, none of these go in the same direction like they did in the paper. And I'm going to add a couple of more. I'm going to make one. I found a piece of the teal with the star. I love that piece of paper too. And I had two sheets. One side was pink and one side was a teal. And I used both sides, and I love both sides, but I thought I was out, but one had fell down by my Big Shot, and it slid down there behind that table, and I cleaned up. So when I cleaned up, wonders beheld, I found a piece of paper. It wasn't that big, but at least it was a piece of it to go on this page. And there it is, and I am cutting a piece to fit up there at the top. I'm going to use the pink up there since I thought I'd save the teal for a bigger place on the page, because there is quite a few shades of pink on here. The only teal that you'll find is in the Christmas trees and that striped paper. And yeah, I'm going to make it go as far as I can. And then I'm going to decide to back up on my layout. So I'm going to have to cut another piece off of there. So it's a good thing 2 pieces that are bigger can be cut out of that piece you see laying there. It's a good thing I didn't make it much bigger or something. Yeah, if I'd used that whole thing, I'd been out of luck. I would have had to use a different piece of paper altogether. And this Christmas tree one is another of my choices to go more in the forefront. And see how the back is pink on pink? Yeah, I am using the more colorful side. I'm putting it on this dark green cardstock. It is super light cardstock. And as y'all know, paper used to be thinner, cardstock included. Either that or my local store only bought the thinner stuff. When they got in the coronations, I fell in love. And then I bought American Crafts because, I could get it cheaper and it's textured and I really like it. So that's usually what I end up buying. And one thing I'm trying to do right now is use stuff from my stash. Yeah, so I pulled out some old cardstock and I will be using it for different things. I was using my better stuff to back things with. But now, yeah, I've got the stack of older stuff, and that's a pretty color, so I'll probably use it on something else. I just showed you it again, plus 2 other lighter and darker green pieces of paper, and I cut out all of those Tim Holtz die cuts. Yeah, I bought that last winter. It was in my cart in Amazon though, probably 5 years. I would I would say a very long time anyway. And I finally talked myself into getting it last winter, so I ordered it. And this is my first time using it. Oh man, they were hard to get out of those dies. I had to use my little pick and punch each little hole out. Did all that and stacked them there on that piece of white cardstock. And I glue 3 down on my paper with wet glue, and then decide I don't like it on my page. So I will have to work and take it off. I will take a step back I'm not doing my whole page over, but I will take a step back, and that green piece of paper you see there, the teal one, I will be going over the top of it with another one just like it, because I end up damaging it a little bit. I did use undo though, so that helped a whole lot. And yeah, I didn't damage too much. If I hadn't gotten a hurry when and not pulled the undo out to start with, I would have been fine. But no, of course, I tried to do it without pulling the undo out. While I was talking, I was putting that green striped paper in there. I had to cut a chunk off to put over on the left, but I was able to wiggle the other one on down to meet it. Well, meet the foam tape anyway. But I see I've still got a little spot there, so I thought I'd use greenery to cover that little bare spot. Well, it's going to stay bare because I'm not going to like the greenery. And yeah, it's going to come off of there. And if I look at the whole page and don't just look right there, I think I'll be fine. I think I will just go with the flow on it. But those are really, really pretty branches. They'll look really good on another page or a card. I just didn't like them on this one. But that is my great niece there in the picture, Isabella, and that is her first birthday. And when she's turned around facing the front of the, facing the camera, it says, it's my birthday on the front of her shirt. But the Christmas tree is in the back, so I decided to go with the Christmas theme on this instead of the birthday one, because I have made several birthday ones. And, here, I showed you the die earlier because I was planning on using it, but I think I ended up using it more than I had planned originally. I think I get a little carried away. I decided I had to make myself stop because I was putting them here, there, and everywhere. I guess you can tell I picked up some more gold cardstock. Yeah, I couldn't resist. I was down to practically nothing. So I'm doing all these Christmas layouts, whereas the rest of the year, the gold might last a whole lot longer. When I'm doing a Christmas layout, it does not. I will cut several of them in half and kind of just work them into those ribbons of paper. I am going to put one right there, and I think it's going to be a half one. I think I'm going to end up with a half of one left over. Yeah, because I think that's what it ends up as. Well, I guess I actually cut all of them. All of them get cut. None of them stays as a full circle. I am putting foam tape under the biggest star on each one of them though, and then gluing the other part down with wet glue, so have a little bit of dimension there. And it will take me a couple minutes to put all this on here, but I do have this sped up a little bit, so it won't take as long for you all. But after I get them on, the title and some stickers that I have that is a focus product for me. I noticed that some of my scrappy friends are calling it that. Me, I just called it the thing that I pulled out of my stash that sat there way too long and needed use. But since that's longer, I think I'm going to use focus product. But there's a set of stickers that my buddy here on YouTube, Tin Lizzie, gave to me a long while back, and I have used some of the stuff that she gave to me, well, probably a lot of the stuff, but I ran across them when I was looking at my Christmas stuff, and I thought, I really need to use them. They are gorgeous, and I still haven't got them on a page. Well, it's sitting in here in my Christmas stuff, and I usually do like cards some other time in the year. Like this year, I did cards back in February. I wasn't allowed to twist and turn after my back surgery, so I was afraid to go in my scrappy area because I got it set up like a U, and I turn, left, right, and grab this and grab that. Well, I tested it before my surgery, and guess what? I could not keep myself from twisting. So the first couple of weeks, I didn't do nothing except walk and watch TV. And then I had my niece set me up a card table, and I did my Christmas cards. I remembered these were in there, so yeah, I got them out, so I can use them on a scrapbook page. However, that great big one, it'll probably go on a card. There were some of these little tiny round circles on there. There's only 4, but I'm going to put them on this page too. I thought they were cute and totally need to go on here. And here I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my title on here. And I finally decided I'd put it in the bottom right hand corner. And so it says "A Star is Born." And she looks so cute at that piano. And I think there's like 3 or 4 pictures of her at the piano. And like I said, it is her birthday. And her shirt does say it. But here you can't really tell it. But you can see the Christmas tree in the background on the left. But that's it. That's my layout. I do stop there. I considered some Heidi swapping gold, but I thought, oh, maybe I got enough gold on this page. I will leave a link below for the next person on the hop. And if you leave a comment, I'll get back with you. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And if you like the video, if you hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, there's my close-up. See where everything's all layered and 3-dimensional and foam tape and all that. And yeah, this part looks kind of flat compared to the rest of the page. And you can see that one right there. I thought, boy, I should have angled that one different, because sitting here and looking at my layout from where I'm at, that part looks really dimensional. And that R there looks really crooked. And I have sat here and looked at it, so yes, it did get fixed. Couldn't look at it for very long and not fix it. But again, thank you all so much for watching. And Becky Back is the one who started this hop, so give her a thumbs up for that. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a happy scrappy week. Bye.